It is the craziest story, and this is like the most typical Foo Fighters stuff just falls in our lap.
So why was horror or horror comedy the right genre for the first Foo Fighters movie?
Well, here's the thing, is that it just kind of happened. I mean, the way it all came together, I was writing all the music for Medicine at Midnight. And usually when I do that, I try to find like a space where I can like write in private, be by myself. And my landlord from 10 years ago, I lived in the house in the movie. I lived in that house 10 years ago when I was remodeling my place. He emails me and he says, "Hey, do you want to buy the house? It's for sale." I'm like, "No, but can I rent it for a little while? We're going to make a record." He goes, "Sure." At the same time, this friend of mine texts me and says, "Hey, I just came out of a meeting and these people want to make a horror film with the Foo Fighters." And I'm like, "What? Why? That's so like, we would never, that's such a stupid idea. Why would we ever?" And then I'm in that house by myself writing and I'm like, "Holy shit, we could do this in this house. Like, we've got the place. Let's make the record, finish the record, and then take a week off and then just bring some cameras in and we'll shoot this really low budget run and gun slasher film." So I came up with this ridiculous idea. Foo Fighters move into an old house. It happens to be haunted. Everyone starts getting killed off because I'm possessed. I'm murdering the band. And everybody was like, "Aha, that'd be funny." And then it snowballs into a full-length feature film. I'm like, wait a second, screenwriters? Okay, cool. Hold on a second, Lionel Richie? Okay. By the time we were done, we watched the first cut and looked at each other like, oh my God, we made a movie. Whoa. It still surprises us. I can't believe we did it.
When it comes to horror, there is no bigger stamp of approval than having John Carpenter write your theme. And he also appears in the movie, which is just twice as crazy. How the hell did that happen?
It is the craziest story. And this is like the most typical Foo Fighters stuff just falls in our lap. I swear to God, for the last 26 years, things just happen. When I told our road crew that we were making a horror film, our lighting designer, Dan, who had been on tour with John Carpenter when John Carpenter went out and performed his music for live audiences, Dan says, "I know John Carpenter. You should call him and see if he'll do a cameo." I'm like, "Dude, there's no way he's going to be in our film. There's absolutely no way." He's like, "I don't just email him." So I email him. I'm like, "Hi, my name's Dave. I'm in a band called the Foo Fighters. We're making a horror film. We have a mutual friend, Dan Hadley. He's kind of wondering if you'd like to make a cameo." He emails back and he says, "Listen, 15 years ago, you took my son's band on the road." He said, "You treated them so well on the road. Not only will I do a cameo in your film, but I will also write the theme song." I was just like, there's no way this is real. And then when he sent the song, I mean, how many times can you win the lottery? I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
What are some of your personal favorite horror movies?
Well, the more recent movies, my two favorites are The Witch. I love The Witch. The Witch is one of those movies, every time it comes on, I don't care if it's at the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie, I'm just going to watch it. It's so brilliant. Amazing cast, amazing script, cinematography. That movie is so eerie. It's great. I love Midsummer. Midsummer's another one. Like, I love those two movies. But as far as classics, it's like The Exorcist is my favorite film of all time. And I mean, not horror film. I love that movie. And I'm biased because I grew up here outside of Washington, D.C. I spent a lot of time on those steps as a kid, drinking beer with my friends, like looking up at the house. And still, when that movie comes on, it still scares the shit out of me. I'm also a classic dude, from Halloween to Amityville Horror to, Evil Dead, things like that. I've seen those movies 1,000 times. Like, I'm in no way an aficionado. I like the things that I like. And because of that, I never thought I'd make a horror film. Like, it just wasn't in my vernacular. It is now.
You're welcome, music.